почему она не перевелась? А, перевелась.
Что он не умер?
Hello everyone, so this will be a build guide, full build guide and definitive edition for our character, which is Hierophant, Archmage, Vortex of Projection, Int and Mana Stacker. This video will take a lot of time, so prepare yourself, and I will make, of course, timestamps, and I'll try to go through everything that is required to make this build good. And I want to go in details about everything. So first is, what is Vortex of Projection? Vortex of Projection is a Nova spell. This is the spell. It is cast around yourself. Now, when you use Frostbolt, Vortex is a cold spell, and we have a Frostbolt. Where is our Frostbolt? We have Frostbolt. This is Frostbolt, so this is MTX, but this is Frostbolt. When you use Frostbolt and you use Vortex, Vortex travels along and it explodes the Frostbolts. So this is important. So it's not cast around yourself, but it is cast on those Frostbolts and it explodes them, and your damage travels along the line. So you can direct your damage like this way. And usually if you have this setup, like Greater Volley, Unleash, Frostbolt, you can use that just once and just press the button of Vortex and do your full DPS. And this damage is mostly enough to kill any Uber boss in the game, pretty much. That's not the point. So once you cast, so you don't want to just cast like this. When you cast on Frostbolt, the radius, the AOE is 50% more multiplicative, and the damage is 50% more as well. So you want to cast it on Frostbolt all the time. So this is a 2-button build. This is very important for many people. You want to cast Frostbolt, and then you want... It's not that difficult. You have a direction, you cast, and everything in this direction will be obliterated. And the radius is not that bad. So why we are not using Ice Nova Frostbolts? This is actually the skill which everyone used in the previous patch, and it was nerfed very badly. And if you see... Okay. Let me regenerate my mana. I will cast my Frostbolt and I will cast Ice Nova. And you see my mana, it instantly deletes itself. And the second thing is effectiveness of added damage is 210%, and here we have 130%. Ice Nova is a little bit faster. It has less damage effectiveness and eats a lot more mana. And in general does less DPS than Vortex Projection. So Vortex explodes 5 times. Ice Nova only explodes like for 2 times. So this is a big deal. So Vortex overall is a better spell right now. This may change in the future, but for now Vortex seems to be a better spell. It can be a little bit clumsy when you start, but as you get like your 2 bands, it gets a lot better. So you need some cast speed for this build to function. I have gone through the main spell. I want to go through our spells first. Actually, first let's go to the Poi Ninja and find my build. So a lot of people ask, show me your path for building. So the thing is, you can always use this website, Poi Ninja. I will of course share the link for my pop, which is the build for this video. But you can use this website. It's very good. I used it a lot when I was making my build as well. And you search Vortex of Projection, and then you sort by Energy Shoot, and you see I'm here like alone. Nobody is really playing the same build. Like these people are playing different builds. And if I know of Frostbolts, nobody even playing, so there are very few people here. Yes, and these builds are very bad. So you can click on my character, and this is my character, and another good thing here is that you can see the progression. So this I think is very valuable. Like if you don't know what to start, this is my build like on first few days. I didn't play every day in the league, so you have to realize that I was like away for a few days here and there and had breaks. But you can see my progression when I crafted simplex. It was one of the first item, and I had until I bought Mageblood, I had the Stygian Wise. Yeah, so this website, I found it extremely useful for the build. And yeah, so let's go over the skills. Our main skill is Vortex of Projection. We have Archmage support. This is the spell which gives us our lightning damage, and it gives us the majority of raw lightning damage. So Spell Echo is twofold. It gives a lot of more cast speed. It also preserves our mana, because like double casts your spell, and basically you don't burn mana as fast. Lightning Penetration. Arcane Surge. This was buffed a lot, and you want to use it at least on one of your spells. And this gives a lot of DPS, and I like to use critical damage support. Now here, you could use Intensify, and in Path of Building, Intensify gives a lot more DPS. But the thing is, Intensify has 3 stages, so your DPS will not be stable. You'll like go from stage 1 to stage 3, even if you go fast. The thing is, your Path of Building DPS will be inflated, when your real DPS will be much lower. And the second thing is, Intensify lowers your radius, your AoE, so it makes the effect more concentrated, but your clear will be much worse. And for the Nova spell, you actually want your radius to be as large as possible. We don't have the best clear in the game, so it's not like you throw Nova and you blast things off screen. Okay, it's not like projectiles which bounce off screen. So this thing can travel. It can kill a lot of enemies, but still, it's much better when enemies come to you. I will show you later how we do in different kind of content. The build is actually super good in all kind of content. Yeah, so this is the main link. It's a 6 link. There is an option to set up an 8 link here, but actually I checked it and it's not that great. And the mana concern is very real, because the nerf which they hit Archmage and Hierophant was actually very high, and there is a reason why so few people play this character and this class. So let's go over the second skill. I want to show you, of course, Frostbolt. So for Frostbolt, you want Greater Volley and you want Unleash. So Unleash makes it like 3 times more. You see, and not even all of them explode. So you definitely want this setup. And there is an option when you have not that much cast speed, you may use a 4 link and use faster casting, and that's what I did. But when you have a lot of cast speed, that is not necessary, and you can save the 4 link and put something else in the 4 link. And for the another spell is our movement spell, Frostblink of Wintry Blast. And this gets progressively better as you get more cast speed. So it has no cooldown, and it gets insane. Like my movement speed, again, there will be a showcase in the video. I just don't want to do it now. The movement speed is nuts. So people buy Headhunter to have this zoom on the map. We are faster than people on the Headhunter. We are like as fast as people under the Shrine buffs. So without any Shrine buffs, without Headhunter, you're just as fast. So the speed is pretty much instant. The only downside is that it's not like if you play like a narrow corridor map layouts, it's not very useful to use. You'll be hitting any kind of the wall and which any place. So it's much more comfortable to play open layout maps like dunes and maps like beach. So I don't like narrow maps because of this spell. I can zoom through a map like in 1 second, 2 seconds, and go through the entire map, pick all the altars, pick all the shrines if there are shrines. I usually don't play with shrines, but that's the thing. You can go through the entire map and go back, and it takes 1-2 seconds. And yes, for Frostblink you want faster casting and you want Spell Echo. Spell Echo is the main link, faster casting as well. So this like directly makes you. I'm not going to show you now in the hideout. Ice Bite support is optional, so this is something you can add to get frenzy charges. This will boost your DPS substantially because you get those 3 frenzy charges, but it's not really necessary. So if you want to stop falling, that is an option. Another extremely important spell is Arcane Cloak. Arcane Cloak is a buff which by default is base duration 3 seconds and cooldown 4 seconds. So it's more offline than online, but with our fine tuning, with moderation, with automation, high level, you see it even makes cooldown recovery less. So it makes it activate more. So we are increasing the window. So I will show you. Does it activate? Maybe I should go on the map. Anyway, so it's online for like 60 or 70% of the time, and the cooldown is actually only 3 seconds instead of the 4, and it's like for 7 or 8 seconds. Yeah, so. And Arcane Cloak is actually extremely insane. So not only gives you a shield of mana, so it converts your mana into the shield, a barrier which blocks damage. So the more mana you have, the more shield you have. But it also gives you insane amount of flat. You see 80% DPS. So this is your main buff. And you can monitor it when it activates. You'll be doing a lot more damage, so that you can time when it activates, and activates every like 3 seconds, so only 3 seconds cooldown. So within these 3 seconds you'll be doing less damage, but all other time you'll be doing an insane amount of damage, 80% more damage. So that's almost doubled your DPS. And the good thing here to put is enhance. It gives you 7% DPS. So it increases the buff effect. And you want Arcane Cloak pretty much in the falling. And this is a good quality of life. So our next goes our auras. I think we movement skill, guard skill. This is a double setup. So this is a Frostbolt and a Nova. And we have our auras. So for the auras we use Eternal Blessing and Purity of Elements. So this gives you immunity to all elemental elements, which is very good. It also solves your elemental resistance problems for bigger part. So you don't have to put resistance on your gear anywhere. And the thing is, we are using 1, 2, 3 uniques, and we are using, I'll go to gear later, but we are using like items which cannot have resistance pretty much. And so that is the thing, you cannot resolve your mana because you're playing Archmage. So the downside of Archmage is not only extremely expensive mana cost, one thing is you can't resolve your mana because that will cripple your DPS. So we cannot really use auras, but we can use Eternal Blessing support, and we can reserve our life. So this build is playing on low life and using Ivory Tower. Again, a little bit late about the gear. The thing is, we can have 1 aura for free reserved with Eternal Blessing. And in this league is also, I'll show you later for the Mercenary setup, but we have 2 more auras from Mercenary, which is Hierophant and Zealots. Yes, so Eternal Blessing is not only giving you a free aura with no reservation, it also increases effect with aura, so that gives us pretty substantial boost to our resistances, and this is quite good. So there are other options to play around with auras to solve this kind of issue, but this is like the simplest solution to many of your problems, and you probably will want to use that. And for auras we use Discipline, and we use Arrogant support, so we reserve our life. Again, this makes your aura stronger, but the reservation cost is actually quite big. It's 200% reservation cost. So we can only use 135% aura, and then you want to use something like Clarity or even Vitality just to reserve all of your life, because our body armor gives you energy shield 100 reserve life. So you want to reserve all your life to get the maximum energy shield possible. Yes. And clarity and discipline gives you a little bit extra energy shield, and discipline plus this reserve life actually sets this armor piece on the very top. So this is a very cheap unique, but with good rolls and with this proper setup, it's actually worth more. It gives more benefit than like 200 divine chest piece. So the only thing that is better than this one is mirror chest. Yes. And clarity. Clarity is a very important aura. It's not even used for its effect. So 34 mana regen per second is not much, but it gives insane. I will show you. Yeah, I have different stuff right now, so I have less energy shield. It's actually 22,000 or something. So I disable clarity and I have 4,000 less energy shield. And why is that? Because we go to our where is it? Yeah, we go to our watcher and gain 10% of maximum mana next to maximum energy shield while affected by clarity. So this alone makes clarity extremely valuable aura to use, and regenerate life, regenerate energy shield per second when affected by discipline. This is also very good. So this gives a lot of quality of life, and you see we have 3,500 energy shield regeneration per second, and this is a massive quality of life. So your energy shield is regenerating constantly, and a lot of things like even bleeding, corrupted blood, some kind of damage over time, some kind of burning ground, you will not feel it because it will be less damage than your regeneration baseline. So let's go. I have gone over the skills. Let's go with the Geo. Our equipment. The first 3 things is you get 3 uniques. These are very cheap. So they are very cheap and they are still extremely strong. So Shepherd's Touch, Crusader Gloves. These are like stat stacker, and they are scaling very well. So they will not give you much early on. But as your character grows, as you get more stats, they will get progressively better. So these ones, you can see my stats. I have 1,700 intelligence and almost 1,000 strength. So this easily gives us incredible boost to energy shield, to mana, to evasion rating. And I have the double corruption for spell crit, which is also quite good. I had to take a break and drink some water because the switch was going to take long and we just started. So these gloves are incredibly good. They cost nothing. They like 20 chaos on trade, and they give a lot, just a lot. So I will show you, let's say, energy shield, 4,000 energy shield, mana 1,300 mana. So they give you a lot of benefit. And lately, in the latest technique, because they give us increased evasion rating per turn intelligence, and we have a lot of intelligence. But we don't have evasion on any of our GRPs, and we should not have evasion because we are an arcane. But this is easy to solve with Jade Flask. So you see, I have only 1 Jade Flask for evasion. I have 67% chance to evade attacks. So this is a great mitigation for the hits, for melee damage, for physical damage. And all you need is just 1 flask. So these 3 things are extremely cheap. Of course, it will be more expensive as you double corrupt them, as you search for perfect item. And this is probably worth 200 divines. Probably I'll be able to sell it if I wish to, because this is probably incredibly good corruption. It's hard to roll two perfect, like, good implicits. There's a very low chance to do that. You'll have to go temple like 20, 50, 100 times to get anything decent, which is what I did actually. So I have been running temple for like 50 times before I got something like this. And yes. So I have talked about Crusader Gloves. They're insane. The spell crit is actually capping our crit chance because it's the base. As you see, the spell has 6% and it's multiplied by our crit chance, which is very high. But this 0.6% is actually giving us almost 9% actual crit chance. So this is very good. Another good corruption here is a cast speed and maybe energy shield. So this is quite good. I actually have something like... yeah, this one is quite insane. Cast speed and energy shield. This would be very good, but I just need a little bit more crit to cap my crit at 100%. So the second item I already talked about is Ivory Tower. This item is very good for its low value. It has high intelligence. It has very high mana roll. It gives you energy shield per 100 reserve life. So we have 2200 reserve life. This is basically not a 100 energy shield base, but like 700, 800. And then you add 230 from discipline because we reserve life. So this is like 1000 energy shield chess piece. But it's not only 1000 energy shield, it's also giving you chaos damage negation because your chaos damage is taken from mana before life. So when you play low life, chaos damage penetrates through energy shield and it one-shots you. Okay, so that will be fatal, lethal. But with this thing, you can keep your auras. Because if you take Chaos Inoculation, your life becomes 1, you can no longer have auras reserved. I'm actually planning a swap here, so I already moved my leg here, but I will need to have a mirror chess piece to upgrade from this one. So this is just so good, you only can upgrade with the mirror. Someone died in the void. Okay, guys, so these 3 uniques are very cheap, and this one is also incredibly good. So I already showed you that Clarity is giving us 4000 energy shield. Now this one gives you 1.5 times more energy shield than Clarity. So 15% of maximum mana is extra maximum energy shield. And it has high mana roll, and it also gives you 20% of damage taken recouped as mana. So this is a incredibly strong helmet. And I think I tried to find a mirror helmet and it gave us less energy shield than this one. So this helmet costs like 5 chaos, but because how it scales with maximum mana, it's actually better than helmets. Because how it scales with maximum mana, it is actually better than helmets, which cost like 300 divines, 400 divines, even maybe mirror to craft. And you get this for free. So you should get a perfect roll, of course. So this one I think even dropped for me. No, I was buying them bases and was corrupting them anyway. Ideal corruption here would be energy shield regeneration per second. That would give you even more quality of life because we have a massive energy shield pool, and percentage regeneration would make a lot more comfortable the gameplay and a lot more tanky on the build. Yes, so 2 level of auras is also not bad. Life is pretty much useless. It gives you a little bit more energy shield as well, but it's not scaling that great for us. So I have covered cheap uniques. An expensive unique you want to get is Mageblood. Pretty much every build in the game, almost every build in the game wants a Mageblood. It gives you a lot of flexibility and gives you a lot of... personally, the thing I like the most is Onslaught Flask. This gives you 40% cast speed, 40% movement speed, and it's just very, very comfortable to play, especially on this build, which scales with cast speed. And then you can just get yourself immunity to curses. I already showed you how evasion flask works. And this thing you want. So I go over fast right now. You want this regenerate 3% of life per second during effect. Because we have Zealots of life, our life regeneration is applied to energy shield instead. And I will show you. Defense 3500 energy shield regeneration per second. Now if we remove this, we only have 2200. So it's very good to have this kind of regeneration. Very good. Mageblood is not cheap, I understand. It took me myself quite a lot of time to grind and to get it. Well, it takes some days maybe to farm it, but it's definitely something you want to have in your build. And the second expensive item is the one I actually crafted the first in the build. This is a simplex. So for the simplex, this amulet drops in heist, and you will have to run heist for like days, hours until you find the simplex. It's a rare drop and you need a very fast character, and fortunately our character is quite fast. Of course, if you have Mageblood and you can set up the movement speed flask, I have like one like this one, for example. It will be even more comfortable to run heist, but with our blink speed, it's incredibly fast to get through heist. And this simplex amulet, I have the video, I crafted it myself, and I actually farmed it myself. So I ran heist for several days. I got two simplexes. I got two helicals, and this amulet just goes a very long way because it gives you 45% increased intelligence and gives you 90% all attributes, and it gives you 2% increased damage per 50 intelligence. Now we have more than 1500, so this is more than 200% damage. And this thing only gets better as your build improves. So I like items which scale with your build, so you grow stronger and they grow stronger with you. Until I got simplex, I was running with that zero foible, which is probably free now. It was like 1 divine on the start. Yes, this is of course a lot better. So if you go on the path of building and we select our amulet, you see it gives us 60% more DPS and gives us 2000 more mana and gives us 4000 more energy shield. Yes, so you definitely want something like this. Crafting yourself is difficult. Buying it right now, it costs 400 divines. Yes. And for anointment, it's Primal Spirit, and gives you 20% increased mana and 20 to strength intelligence. You could also anoint Tranquility, and it would give you more DPS, but the problem is it doesn't give you mana and doesn't give you attributes, which both stats we want very much. Yeah, so this is the better anointment, I think. And for the ring, we have a helical ring. You want your attributes, strength and intelligence. You want cast speed, and ideally you want maximum mana and reduced mana cost of skills. So this ring I have crafted myself. And yes, there is another thing I forgot to mention about skills. You also need a curse. So if you don't have, you can roll curse on hit on your gloves, and then you would not need it on the ring, for example. You will not need it on the skills. So if you roll, you can buy, which I used. You can just buy elemental weakness from your trader and use it, and you could get a cursed ground and have elemental weakness with cursed ground, so everything in the ground is cursed. But the thing is, using it manually, it doesn't have the 100% uptime. You'll not cast it on everyone. And it's another button to the build, which already has 3 buttons. So you have Blink, you have Frostbolt, which have Nova. So you can play with another button for sure. I did for quite a while. But if you get Curse on Hit, it gives you less DPS on the path of building because it doesn't give as much negative resistance. but overall just much better quality of life. And if you count the uptime, it actually gives more DPS in the long run. So yeah, you can get Curse on your gloves as implicit corrupted. You can get it via influence on your ring and somewhere else. Some setups with aftercast Curse. But again, I don't think we can remove this helmet. There are a lot of questions about using Zealots or Zealot helmet. The thing is that helmet is very weak, and because how our skill works, it consumes the Frostbolts, unlike the Ice Nova. I think you will not generate enough Frostbolts with that Zealot helmet, Kitava first, to sustain full DPS on your Vortex of Projection. It will also be quite worse in the, I think, in the clear end as well. So, like, your damage will probably be a little bit more random. So this is best in slot helmet. I haven't seen anything, but I'm not sure. Maybe double influence, mirror, tier, but probably not. Not for now. We've gone through on download and the ring. So you want the helical ring. This is the best base. It's quite a bit expensive. I think it costs about 40 divines right now. On League Start, it was only 5 divines. So if you were smart, you could buy it at 5 divines on League Start. It was not that easy to get 5 divines on League Start, but it was still much easier than like 40 divines. I also farmed those in the highs myself, but this actually I bought from trade. So I sold my rings, but this one I bought from trade for 40 divines. And this craft is something special because I spent like 150 divines crafting this ring, and I was extremely unlucky for like 2000 essence spam. So this is for another video story. I spammed this for 2 hours, and eventually I was like, okay, I didn't plan to get this curse on hit. It just happened by accident, and then just rolled a perfect slam for cast speed and rolled perfect slam for maximum mana and mana cost. Yeah, so this ring is probably worth around the mirror. I think it's very difficult to craft. And you can just use Calendar's Touch. This is quite cheap. So 17 divines. It was even cheap. I think I bought it for like 12 divines. And yeah. So 2 things I didn't cover are wands, or weapons, and our boots. So for weapons, we craft ourselves Profane Wand. So this costs around 80 to 100 divines to craft yourself. Or you could buy like my ready-made one for like, maybe I'll make a discount for somewhere like 80 divines. Yeah, or you can craft it yourself. It's not that difficult. Ideally, you want these stats, so you want increased spell damage and gain non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage. You want spell crit, and you want global crit multi, and of course you want cast speed. So these ones give us 46% cast speed, and we dual wield. And again, you'll see that in showcase this cast speed is very important for the build. It makes it incredibly fast, faster than Flash. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with these ones. So I bought a quality 30% basis. I split them in 3 parts and then I crafted them. Again, I can make a video on how I crafted them. I actually have a recording. It just needs a little bit of editing and can go online if anyone is interested. It's not a problem to make this yourself. And I have checked, the mirror wand is only giving us like 20% more DPS. And there are no perfect mirror wands on the trade for now, but it's about 20% more DPS. It may be worth it in the long run if you have a lot of mirrors, but for now, these are quite good. Yes. And this this is an embarrassment. This is one of the first items I crafted. I didn't have any currency back then. I was very poor in the game. Has chaos resistance, double attributes, and some movement speed. And basically, I bought the fracture of mana, so I didn't even fracture it myself. I'm not sure if you want maximum mana here or if you want energy shield. So this, I'm not sure, what I should get for my boots upgrade in the future. So this has to be thought through. We'll see it in the future. This flask is not very important. I'm not even sure how it works. I cannot see, because how our visuals works, I cannot see much stuff on the screen. It's very helpful to be tanky, to not bother about things on the screen. Okay, guys, I have covered our skills. I have covered our equipment, GR. So these three things are going to be expensive. These three are going to be cheap. These are like medium, probably 80 divines each, and Calandra is quite cheap this league. The flask now cost nothing. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, and no, I didn't forget to mention, but I forgot myself. So you want to have some kind of elegant round shield just to level up the gems and make some profit. I made 7 divines yesterday just because they leveled up, and I sold corruption plus 1 level and cost like 7 divines. Otherwise they would just lie in my stash stuff forever, and I'm like not bothering to sell things for like 50 chaos. Okay, so I have covered the gear, the skills, and next thing goes our jewels and our passive tree. And there are a lot of interesting things here which are good to show for the build. And the first thing I want to show you is probably in the path of building. I want to see how much our different kind of so this is our ascendancy, right? Every node is quite powerful, except probably for this one. It's just transfiguration of the mind. Okay, so this node, when I first read it, I thought it just gives you 20% more DPS, which is not that much, but it actually doesn't give you 20% more. It makes your arcane surge effect give you 20% more DPS. So as you see, it gives us actually 40% DPS. And why is that happening? Because we grab these nodes. So grab arcane surge nodes, and they give you incredible boost for your DPS. So this one gives you 50% increase effect for arcane surge. If you have spent 1000 mana, I think is where is it? The thing is, we spend 1000 mana with each cast, so there is a constant uptime. And you don't have to worry about it. Basically, you have 60% this effect here, 20% here, and 20% here, and this together gives you 100% more. So this node, which gives you 20% more spell damage, actually gives you 40% more spell damage. So a 40% damage multiplier is substantial. I already showed you Zealots OAF, so this gives you our energy shield and generation. So we path like this. We go, and this setup is like the first thing I did in the game. You won't have an actual instant here because all these nodes will cover as taken. So you take all these nodes, all these nodes, all these nodes. And actually these nodes are also useful because they give you skill effect duration, which is making your arcane cloak last longer. And these nodes, I have shown you how strong is arcane cloak, right? It gives you 80% more DPS, gives you like 10,000 mana shield every other run. So you want these nodes as well. So 40% increase duration and 20% cooldown recovery node. Because arcane cloak is insane. Of course, you could not take these nodes, and your path of building will still show the same numbers, but they are like fake numbers because your uptime on the arcane cloak is less. So we take the unnatural instinct. I'm trying to double corrupt it. I hit not the greatest corruption, just gives you like 0.5% DPS or 1% DPS. And then we have lethal pride. So lethal pride is very cheap. Nobody uses it here, I think, and there is no competition. So it just gives us 5% strength, double damage and double damage. I bought it like for 2 divines or something. Natural thing also was like 2 divines. It's like 1 divine now, so it's all getting cheaper. Lethal Pride is also good if you get Rakiata, because in future, maybe one day, maybe we switch to Purity of Fire. I'm not even sure for now. Purity of Fire, of course, costs like a mirror to begin with, and there are a lot of downsides as well, because you could not use auras like Clarity, and Clarity is overpowered. I already showed you Watcher's Eye, so you want Discipline, Clarity. You could get other hours like the ones used by your Mercenary, also quite good. So we run 2 clusters, and this mainly giving you 2 jewel slots. I may revoke this cluster in the future. I think one passive point could be spared and just make a regular. This just gives a little bit more stats. I'm not sure it's worth the passive point. Yes, and because we path like this, the split personality is given a lot. So this 5 strength, 5 intelligence, and it gives like 10% more DPS, 1,400 energy shield, 500 mana, so this is a very strong jewel. And it works because we path like this. So it takes a little bit extra, I think, passive points, because the path like this, but it's quite potent for what it has. So for the most of part of the game, I was running with a healthy mine here, and I will get this nose to give us mana as well. But later I switched to Light of Minion, and it just closes the negative gap and the chaos resistance. And the good thing here is if I take Chaos Inoculation in the future, I will just be able to swap the jewel, so I don't have to like bother set up in chaos resist on my ring, on my equipment. This is swappable jewel, which gives you a lot of chaos resistance for a little price. These nodes are good for mana stacker, and this is basically a mana stacker 3. This is an exception. So these 4 nodes I just take for the chance to open chests, and this is just for farming. So basically these 4 nodes would be reallocated somewhere else if we didn't farm a piece, if we didn't farm like chests. Yeah, so another thing to show is our Forbidden Flash setup, Forbidden Flame. This is something I've planned from the very beginning. I bought them for like 30 divines each. And this is what I bought when I first got the currency. And it gives us 1.5. This is half of our DPS basically. So if we take this off, yeah, this is double our DPS, because it gives us, it caps our crit chance. So it gives crit chance per, gives us 50 strength, 50 touch, which is also very good for the stat stacker. It gives us 1% critical strike chance per point of strength or intelligence, whichever is lower. And we have 973 strength. So this is 973% critical strike chance. Along with a crit on our weapons, 100. So this is just basically caps us out on crit. I think I went through all the jewels. Yeah, so we have Lethal Pride and Natural Instinct. We have, now I'll show you 2 new setups which I did just recently. And the first one is Bound by Destiny. This is a new jewel in this patch. It can be extremely strong. So the first one is giving us 50% increase intelligence, and this one is already costly because there are a lot of yield stackers. I think it was like 20-30 divines and upwards. And the second thing I got is you can take reflected elemental damage if 4 shaper items equipped. So there are a lot of problems with reflected damage. I just don't like that I have a mod which you cannot run, and reflect is quite common mod, is also quite valuable. It gives you a lot of quantity and rarity or whatever. And if you negate it completely, it's like a free mod. It has no downsides. Yeah, so that's why I made myself immune, because we have glows which is shaper. We already have amulet which is shaper, and basically I have crafted double influence Hierophant. It was much harder to craft, so if you fracture it, it's much easier to craft. But if you make double influence, you would have like to spend 10 times more essences, not like 100, 200, but maybe 1000, 2000, and so on. So it's more expensive to craft, but once you Calandras touch it, you will have basically four shaper items and 2 crusader items at once. So this is quite good. We have 3 crusader with the amulet, right? Yeah, and being immune to reflected damage is something you want to have. Another thing I want to have is being immune to crit damage. So I only have 50% here. I'm not sure which is the best way to do it, especially if I will change for the like mirror chest piece in the future, which doesn't have any reduced extra damage from critical strikes. So that's something to think about. And before I set up this jewel, I would use this one, a reduced reflected elemental damage taken, and I would use the one from the Pantheon, the blessing, which gives you less reflected damage. The thing is, you could still get one shot if you run into the mark on death modifier on the maps, because it increase reflected damage taken above 100%. And you get one shot. But with this jewel, you are completely immune to reflected elemental damage. So this covers us entirely and makes us immune to reflect, and this is very comfortable to do. The problem with this jewel is that getting 6 items is extremely difficult, and it would require to cripple your build or to get some subpar items, and I'm not sure it's doable for most part. Maybe it's doable for some particular builds, but it would be very hard to do. And another setup I did just recently, I think I did it yesterday, is Impossible Escape, and we get these just for the tattoo. I bought these tattoos, they cost like 15 divine each, and they give us like 2000 mana and something like the same with energy shield. So we have 15,000. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Let's do it like this, for example. So we have 17,000 mana and we have 22,000 energy shield. I remove the tattoos. And we have almost 3,000 less mana and 2,000 less energy shield. And a lot less damage as well. So to get these nodes, you would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passive points, and you also need 1 jewel socket. But for what it gives for 5 passive points and 1 jewel socket, I think it's quite good. I think it's a valuable setup and it's worth the money spent. And definitely for the mana stacker. And basically once you get 3 of these, you'll want to get the 4th one as well. So, because it multiplies the value of each of the tattoo. Each of this gives us 120 raw mana, which gets multiplied by our mana modifier. And this is quite strong, yes. Another thing to say is that you basically don't want to pick the energy shield nodes, increase the maximum energy shield, because intelligence scaling gives you energy shield as well. Attributes give you energy shield as well, and you'll find out quite soon that attributes give you more energy shield than just energy shield nodes. Yeah, so yeah, another thing that if you switch to Chaos Inoculation, you lose 30% more spell damage. So that's a big downside of going Chaos Inoculation, apart from losing your auras. So I have shown my passive tree, I have shown my skills, I have shown, basically explained how the build works. Now we also have the Mercenary. Mercenary is the new thing for this league, and the setup is quite common. I crafted all the items myself. You have Defiance of Destiny, which costs like 8 divines. I think I paid more for it. You have Albern Warpath Soldier Boost. This boost only need for the Mercenary to not get one shot by Elemental Reflect. And then you have rings which give you minus resistance lightning and damage taken recouped life. So I crafted just one, the second one will be crafted someday later. I crafted 2 random just armor bases because we used Doriania. Just to be clear, I have calculation for auras for the Mercenary, but I didn't make any calculations for Doriania. I don't think that's a fair thing to do. Okay, so this thing probably doubles or triples damage, but I'm not just calculating. I don't consider this as a fair damage. But auras are effective all of the time on you, and this is a fair damage. If your Mercenary leaves, your auras are like fair damage, and actual Mercenaries have like 25 level auras. And these things are easy to craft, but they still cost like 6 or 7 divines. So you want just 2 mods, which one is Area of Effect of the Elder, and then you slam. You take Crusader base Scepter and you slam basically Wrath or Zealotry. Tier 1. Yeah. So this is very strong. Also, you have the some physical negation to fire. I'm not sure if this is actually working well. So one thing to say about this Mercenary, this is a Fallen Reverend, so you'll recognize him by the name. This is always Fallen Reverend, and they not always have 2 auras. This is still rare, and I actually have 2 of them. So apart from having 2 auras, they also have different. So this Mercenaries, they summon minions, and minions are also quite good because they serve like a shield for you, because a lot of enemies will attack minions instead of attacking you, and this will like spread over the map over some kind of negative effects, explosions, and so on and so forth. So for this Fallen Reverend, you can still search because they have different minions, different spells to summon, and it will vary like how it looks overall. But you don't get them for the damage. Basically, you get them for the auras, and this is like an aura bot. And if you check the setup, this is our Mercenary. It is able to auras, and our damage like almost doubles with those auras, almost double. So it's something you want to set up. You want to spend currency on your Mercenary. You want to make him leave, and you want to have these scepters. And also another thing, you want to allocate influence. So I have checked this 14%, they work, and you just get straight increase in your DPS if you make this influence.